Good morning, everyone. We're here. Hey, Ken, Angie, Charlene, good morning or good afternoon on the East Coast. Morning, Shannon, Ernie, Stacy, Sean's here. Bring up this. Yeah, Wild Ranger. If it's on his short list, but not you're not currently in a position, that's fine. Or the pit isn't currently in said position. Baby's doing great. That's backwards. So the volt's going up. I would only hold and hope on calls. The volt's going down. I'd hold and hope on puts. Then yes, I mean the other way. Nice, Adam. Morning, Anthony. Penny, how are you? Scuba Chris. Yeah. Reminds me of Scuba Steve.
Hello, 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 everybody. Matt, can you make sure everything went out?
Yep.
Hey, Penny, how are you? Good to see you here. We got Genevieve, we got Angie. Angie was just in time for SMR. You guys make money on SMR this morning? Everybody make money on SMR this morning? Adam, good. I'm glad your mom is okay. Please keep us posted on your mom, okay? Genevieve made money, Jill made money, Robert made money, Steve made money, Lydia made money, Vernon made good money, Fluffy made money. Good, 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 good. Anybody on YouTube made money? Hey, Raj, how are you? We're just coming into YouTube. Let's see here. Petra made money. Peter made money. Karen made money. Robert made money. I see a common theme here, Matt. Christian, Christie's made money. Peter made money. Petra made money. Joy on a wine tour. Very nice. Mary made money. Carlos made money. Several times. Efaso made money. Kate made money. Stephen made money. Roger made money. Ed made money. Santiago, why didn't you make money, Santiago? What's your excuse? What's your excuse? Uh, see here. Harold made money. RL made money. Clay made money. Hannah made money. Oh, she loves your comments. Says she's adopting all your VIP room traders. Yay! I'm glad mom is doing well. Adam, we only have, we all love our moms, and I really want your mom to be. I'm so happy that you and your mom are tight, especially at this age. She must be very, very happy to have you. Dave, Dave made very good money. Art was a little late on trade, but still made profit. Kirk made money. I think we only have Santiago not making money. Larry made money. Uh, Question, Roger, what makes you a good teacher? Gitano says, question, what makes me a good teacher? Gitano, I think that's what you have to answer. How about the fact that I'm one of the few people in this world who can actually put all this together and make people consistently profitable? How about that? How many people do you know that can do that, Gitano? I mean, really, in this business, how many people do you know? Do you know how many emails I get? I've lost $200,000 in 20 years going through gurus till I met you. Do you know how many emails I get like that every single day? Took $4,000 profit. There you go. Made money. No money. Well, you were driving. Listen, it happens. Driving. That's well, if you can't take it, did you make any trade alert? Yeah, we did, Rosalind. We took a loss in the trading zone.
Yep.
And I got a nasty email, which I posted, by the way. Uh, he's a task matter, none, and I'm very transparent. I'm as transparent as it's going to get. There you go, Kate. Of course, you're going to have winners and losers. So that's why it's called trading. I really care. I actually care a lot about you guys. If I didn't care, I would just ignore all this nonsense. I would just do my thing. Funny, I'm passive trading on your posted watch list, well over $1,000 today. Very nice. Out there can teach people to trade well. Roger has done that for thousands of people. Thank you, Ken. Thank you. Also, if you look at majority of my members who are here, they've been here for years. Like most people, like Ken, Jill, I can just go on and on and on. Barbara, please, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help you, Barbara. Don't you understand? I'm trying to help you. I don't care about making you upset. I care about making you money. I care about making you money. Money, money, money. Money. It's all about making money. If you're going to send me a bad... Listen, I share good testimonials. Don't you want me to share bad testimonials? Isn't it fair? Matt, don't you think that's fair?
Yep.
Wouldn't I be like completely marketing if I was just posting good testimonials? I got to post the other ones too. It's impossible to win 100% of the time. Of course it is. I've been for 3 years, will be here for the rest of my life. That's why I do this, because of people like Steve. Rosalind says, I can receive trade alerts today. I bought the program yesterday. Yeah, if you're in the Telegram, you sure can, Rosalind. Here, let me write welcome, Rosalind, see if you get it, okay? Welcome, Rosalind, to the group. See, I just wrote welcome, Rosalind, to the group. Did you get it? Look, Rosalind. See, look. Welcome, Rosalind, to the group. If you're in the group, then you're in the group. It's about the money and challenges of trading. Exactly. Exactly. Fair. I don't care about fair. My job is to help you make money. Trust me. You will be. I could call you the worst names in the world, but if I help you make money, you won't be upset at me. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. It's happened before many, many times. Yeah. I want to tear you down and build you up like a trader. If you think this is tough, imagine you having 50 positions or losing 50, 70, 100,000 in 24 hours. Absolutely, John. Stacy, agree with Steve. There you go. I'm coming up on 1 year next month. I finally made back all my money lost in my small account over the past 2 years because I found you. That's why I do this. Make sure to post that. That's very, very nice. Of course, Andrew, we're still in the true trend. Manjo says, recovered my initial investment in 30-day trial in my first trade yesterday. You're welcome. Where do I access your welcome to the group? Rosalind, if you have, they should have sent you a link. The link will take you to this channel right here where 8 people or 9 people just says hello to you. I just said, welcome, Rosalind, to the group. It's right here. 515 members, Trading Zone Live. This is a service we haven't even sold yet, by the way. That's the funny thing. It just is an upgrade. Carlos says, since I started corresponding with Roger and followed his direction and been in the morning show, I've been profitable 2 months straight. And in this market economy. And AZP is the ultimate sweetener. I love that. Thank you, Carlos. Yeah, I mean, this is why I do what I do. I love doing this. I don't have to do these live sessions. I don't get paid for them. There's no money in it for me. I truly enjoy you guys, and I want to help you succeed. I am a born teacher. This is what I was born to do. Join the club. There you go, Ken. Yeah, Ken's been here for 7, 8 years, almost over 7 years. I was up this morning at 5. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Joy. Look at that. I don't trust anyone in 60 years of living more than Roger. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that. That's why I do what I do, folks. Upset at me? Don't know because you lost 2 trades? I like what planet is that on? Thank you guys. You guys are great. Please don't stop doing these meetings. Been here for more than 8 years. That's right. Thank you, Ken. Brett says the Pro Trader dashboard Alphabet is incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Administrator Sean, I'm in AZP to the VWAP now. Yep. I don't have a link. RGB was a correct watch list. Yes, I like that. What did Phil say? 94% of my 94.6% my own fault when I don't make money here. Thanks, Roger. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate it. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And I'm looking, I know you guys haven't had a quick strike trade in a while. Most of you know why we haven't had a quick strike trade in a while. Because I'm not trusting the VWAP levels right now because markets are not being driven by price. They're being driven by, so I should explain this. You know, Matt, I take for granted that people already know a lot of this stuff and they don't.
Right.
Thank you, Penny. I appreciate it. So I want to explain something to you, okay? We've been really slow to give trades. There's a lesson here. This is not an excuse. There's a lesson here, okay? Majority of our services, we've slowed down on our trades. We've now started, you've noticed we started picking back up. Hey, Vladimir, how are you? We started picking, that's my wife's uncle's name. Her favorite uncle's name, Vladimir. She loved that guy. Anyway, that's a different story, but you've reminded me when I saw your name, Vladimir, very cool name. I love that name. So let me just say this, okay? Some programs are based on technicals. Some programs are based on market sentiment. Matt at rogerscott.com, Carlos. Matt at rogerscott.com. So I want to show you guys something. So I want to show you guys something. I should have said this. I should have said this to you guys a few weeks ago, and I didn't. And I regret that. And I don't know why I didn't say it to you guys. My fault. Where's my chat here? Let me go ahead and take over the screen here and yep, yeah, like the Russian president. Yep. All right, so you guys see I have let me clean this up a little bit, okay? I want to show you this. Okay. You see how we have solid lines and we have dotted lines, okay? The solid lines are based just on price, okay? The dotted lines are based on actual trades, volume. They have volume into account. Now I want to show you guys something. Pay attention. Pay attention. Look at DXY. Do you guys see any dotted lines here? Can you tell me why there's no dotted lines here? Norman, remind me about NVIDIA in about 5 minutes. I do want to talk about NVIDIA. I like it, but I don't like the overall sector. But I do like NVIDIA right now. There's no volume, right? So there's no volume. You can't have VWAPs, right? That's why I realized that, and that's why in the morning I started showing you the US dollar, which is right here. See, this is the futures contract. Jyothi says, what's the VWAP and what is significance? Jyothi, do yourself a huge favor. Go to customer service, spend $300 and buy the short-term trading boot camp. And I'm going to tell you it's a 5 or 6 hour class on VWAPs and anchored VWAPs. I'm not trying to sell you anything right now. I don't even market that program anymore. But people here will tell you that it'll open up your eyes to what these the reason I don't want to get into it because it's going to take me a long time to explain it to you. But this is volume average. These dots take volume into account, where these straight colored lines don't take volume into account. And volume is very, very important. So when you see these dotted lines, they take volume into account. Now, in the last few, it's like $300. And if you have Quick Strike, it's free. They give it to you for free with Quick Strike. The very best learning you can do to buy that course. Yeah, see, look what Wild Ranger just wrote. The very best learning you can do is buy that course. So let me continue here. So by the way, T-Buzz is going to come here and talk about his new futures class and just talk to me in about 15 minutes. I haven't had T-Buzz here in ages. So please be nice to T-Buzz, okay? He'll be here in just a little bit. Um, so getting back to what we were talking here. So if we don't have volume, if there's no volume or if volume is not driving price, then these levels are they disappear. Like I just showed you. See, look, this is US dollar, right? You have these dotted lines, and here's the US dollar without any volume, and you don't have any vol. See, there's no dotted lines because there's no volume. Because this is the index. This is like SPX. You can't trade this. SPY you can trade, right? SPX you can't trade. So same thing with the dollar index here. So you see these lines. So the reason we've been really, really slow to give trades in Quick Strike, and there's a lesson here. I don't care if you buy Quick Strike or not. That's not where I'm going with this. The reason why, thank you, Ken. The reason why is because markets have not been driven by volume. They've been driven by news. So that's changed in the last couple of weeks. But remember 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, category 5, category 4, category 3, all that's we couldn't use volume reliably at that point. Just this week is now the first week we're starting to really get back into our normal trading routine, I would say. I think most people would agree, just based on the activity we've been doing. So I have sat through all of them. Yeah, you have. Yes, and VIX is below 18, yeah, and VIX is below 18. It wasn't below 18. And what do I always tell you? If VIX is above 20, you have a very news-driven, fear-driven market. Colleen says it's worth a lot more. It is. That class is worth a lot of money. So anyway, so the point, Quick Strike is completely based on these VWAPs, on these lines. That's all I use in Quick Strike. So I've been kind of biding my time, waiting for the price action, waiting for these levels to become more meaningful again, because we just came out of a major volume driven market. So to cut through all that crap, we have been in a news driven market. Quick Strike works on completely price driven market. Price has not been driving the market. So I've took a little backseat to that, and now I'm coming back to it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to everybody? Because how can you rely on volume, which is what makes this, if volume is not driving price? I'm sorry, folks. Sometimes, I've been doing this for 31 years. So I just wanted to make sure you guys understand that. Now, one last thing I want to talk about is I want to give you some stocks, because I want to do this before T-Bus comes along. But I wanted to, somebody mentioned this morning, I think it was Helen. She was very nice. She was talking about CPI and PPI and CPI and PCE index. So I wanted you guys to, thank you, Scuba Chris. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very, very nice of you. So I wanted you to understand why I follow the CPI a lot more than PCE report. Now, I want you to see how closely they are. They move very, very closely, okay? The reason the CPI has a much bigger reaction for me, and why the Fed uses it more, is because it comes out 2 weeks ahead of the PCE report. And it has much more of a front page view. It has much more impact. It has much more volume connotated to it. And then the PCE kind of confirms or denies it. So before Greenspan, CPI was what the Fed preferred to use. Now the Fed says they use the PCE report, right? That's what Google says. I'm here to tell you they don't. They use the CPI report because the CPI comes out 2 weeks earlier. Capiche? Do you understand that? And it doesn't include services. This includes services, and I want a raw inflationary score based on consumer pricing. I will, Wild Ranger. I'm going to go over my lists right now. Does everybody understand why I believe the CPI is more important than the PCE, even though they're virtually identical? 2 weeks earlier. Much more of a headline, much more, generally makes front page news. What do you think the market, what do you think the Fed pays attention to? What makes the mark right here? Okay. So I just wanted you to, it's not that they're all that different. They're very, very similar. But I didn't understand where we were arguing because they're so similar. But I wanted you to understand why I look at it and why the Fed and the market looks at CPI a lot more than the PCE. Okay? Okay. 2 weeks earlier. So that's now we have that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, yes, that's exactly right. Okay. Does everybody understand that? It's 2 weeks already. Yeah. All right. Let me get my TC 2000. And Matt, you keep an eye on T-Buzz because you know how T-Buzz is. He just comes in hot and heavy.
Yep. Is he gonna join or is he
I
gonna?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's a Shanghai surprise. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. Whichever it is, it's good. It works for me. All right. So stocks to the short side, and I do have a lot of stocks today to show you. CYTK. I really like this stock a lot. And you know, biotech folks doesn't have a lot of biotech does not have a lot of correlation to the rest of the market. Biotech does its own thing. Yeah, people love T-Buzz. T-Buzz is great. We're good friends, so I wanted to have him here. And, well, I'll tell you, I have a selfish reason. You know, with us doing S&P 500 futures a lot in the Trading Zone Live, I heard from Adam, his assistant, that he's coming up with a futures class. So I said, hey, you know what? I'm pretty sure that some of my folks may want to get in on that because they're learning about futures and they're always asking me questions about futures. So I thought that would be cool. Right, Bodine? That's exactly what I fear. Here's Johnny. That's how he is. He's T-Buzz. T-Buzz gets to do whatever T-Buzz wants. All right, CYTK 30. But I have that exact same picture that you do, Bodine. 70 delta, 35 put right here with a stop right at the 15-day, maybe just above this pivot right here. Can I open? Yeah, I can lower this. Um, and today, folks, I'm leaving at 3:50 at 3 o'clock. I have my dentist, the Crown, so I may not be here for the close. Just FYI. Humana healthcare, we all know why it's coming down. I told you guys today that healthcare may be a major catalyst. It is. It's really impacting the Dow Jones today. Matt, is the Dow still down or is it up now?
No, it's down 0.46%.
Point 4. Okay. 31 days to go. I would do a spread here. I would do the 240 versus 230. These two for $5, no more. Oh, good to know, Jim. That's good. Good to know. That's very, very good. Let me repost that. That's good. Good, 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 good to know. So again, um, I don't make anything from this. I just want my buddy to come in here, and if you guys want to take advantage of it, that would be fantastic. But T-Buzz and I both, it's funny, both T-Buzz and I started out as brokers, futures brokers. We both started out exactly the same way, which I thought was kind of funny. Now, this stock started going against me today. I'm not in it, but I mean, I still like it because it made a lower low, but I would only want to sell it if it was below the VWAP. I can tell you that implied volatility is high on it. I'll tell you what, why don't we just skip it for now? There's other ones in there. GIS, it's below the VWAP. It's breaking down. I like this actually. I'm going to circle it. 38 days out, 65 delta, 55 put. Boy, this market, Matt, gap and sleep, right? Just doing nothing.
Nope.
Just doing nothing. Cigna, if this stays below the 200-day, we could see some firepower here. Potentially, we could potentially see some firepower. I'll take a look at Hertz in a second if you want me to. Hold on. 79. We'll do a spread here, right here. 305, 295. $5. Gap and Nap, right? Right, Ken? We created, I got to get a t-shirt that says Gap and Nap. I'm going to get one for sure. That one I'm going to get. Gap and Nap. Yeah. I have some really juicy stocks on my long list right now. Okay, let's go to the last one. Wendy's. Somebody asked me about Wendy's. I really like Wendy's. I may go short Wendy's. I can't stop thinking about it. I was a little kid when that commercial came out, and my grandmother and I would watch it together all the time. These are watch lists. These are watch lists, Brent. I would wait till this is at the VWAP. Price crossing up VWAP day. Oh, that commercial. That commercial was my favorite commercial. Where's the beef? Yeah, monkey business, right? Where's the beef? Oh, HG says, I know there's an alarm because of missiles in Israel. Oy vey, that's not good. I like the stock. I like the stock for a short. I like the stock for a short. Matt, have you ever had Wendy's?
Like the fast food restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Mostly for breakfast.
I've never ate there before.
Well, there's not a lot of choices here in Nakati. Wendy's is about the only place you can get a quick breakfast.
Yeah. Yep. So stocks to the upside. Stocks to the upside. We need this to go to the VWAP. So I'm just going to be setting a lot of alerts here. When I was younger, Wendy's did not have breakfast either. That's very true. So Carvana, APP, calls. Hey, T-Buzz, you going to sit here with me? Grab a chair. All right, folks, go ahead, T-Buzz. Yeah, just come over here. I'm going to switch my mic so everybody could hear us. See what I mean? With T-Buzz, you just don't know if he's coming in hot heavy or if he's coming in. Can you guys say something, T-Buzz?
Hello, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3 4.
Can you guys hear T-Buzz? Matt, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody could hear you. So we got 73 people here, and we got only 435 people here. So we got about 500 people here right now. Okay.
That's great, Roger.
We usually have 600.
I'm proud of
today
you.
we have 500.
I'm proud of you. Well, they might have heard me before.
No. It's just one of those days. It's just somebody's having a webinar or something like that.
Well, I hear you. Okay.
You know, wait, I want to make sure you guys could see T-Buzz. Let me move this back a little.
Here,
This reminds me.
We got you right
This
here.
reminds me of the shirt when we sold the early bird years ago. Remember sunrise in the morning or whatever?
Wrong camera. We're on this camera.
Oh, we're on this camera.
We're good, Matt. We're good.
Are
Don't
we
worry
good?
about it. Yeah, we're good. You're right here. You're good. Everybody could see you. Everybody could see me. We're all good. So T-Buzz, before you begin talking about your new program, and I just kind of tease people about it, let me just finish giving them my watch list. It'll only take about three minutes, okay? And feel free to comment on any of the stocks that I'm going to show you. So I like APP. I'm not going to do the options, folks, but I'm just going to give you the rest of the stocks because my list is pretty plentiful. So I like Netflix off the 15-day here. It's above the VWAP, maybe a little move to the VWAP. We'll set in a little alert here. We want the VWAP to be crossing down price history right there. But I do like Netflix here. I like Crowd here. I do like CrowdStrike here. I'm going to set an alert again for myself. If we're crossing down the VWAP, we'll get that. And these alerts are just for intraday. If we have a little pull down in the SPY and we come down to the VWAP on the SPY up here, here's the SPY. On the SPY, we'll catch it. Okay. For maybe a little day trading here. Next one is Palantir. Palantir and all the other Palantir is up a lot because of the nuclear stocks. Nuclear stocks are up right now, and that's one of the reasons why this is up. I still like Palantir quite a bit. Gonna set an alert right here, crossing down VWAP. Next one. Now I'm going to give you two solar stocks. Now, folks, these stocks have a correlation of 93%, only one to a customer. SMR, you all made money on this stock today. Thank you, Roger. And then let me give you the other one. VST, we took like 35% on that SMG earlier today. But I like this one. But the reason these stocks are going up is because the earnings on this stock were really good. This stock had earnings, and VST is in the same ballpark. All of these stocks are going up as a result.
I've got 20% of my money in my IRA in solar.
Solar?
Or not solar, but in nuclear.
Nuclear, yeah.
I think that's going to be huge.
I do too.
I just put 20% in there.
Yep.
I like NNE.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's one I like.
So I got some more. I got Oklo.
That's also a good one too.
Same principle, folks.
Right.
Folks, please don't get over, one to a customer. They're very correlated, so don't get, because you're just going to be, I like coin right now. Yeah. I still think with the US dollar and the crapper, relatively speaking, I like this a lot.
I'm long that also.
I think it had earnings today. I think it had earnings today, but I like coin right now.
Mm-hmm.
I like this gap, and I like how it's defending the gap. I like Roblox a lot. I like how it's breaking out of this compression. Notice how well it defended the 8-day EMA. Very, very nice, smooth movement here. So we'll go ahead and we'll set an alert. Now, folks, I like all of these stocks enough to set an alert, which means they're all viable for the pit. And then we only have one more, EDD. I like this stock. Now, let me show you why I like this stock, and there's a lesson here. This morning, I taught you, and I'm almost done, T-Bus. I just got 30 seconds left. This morning, I taught you guys that when we broke out, we had a nice gap here yesterday between this and this. And what I told you is I don't want to buy stocks that are above yesterday's high till they test the low, so we have some level of support. That's what this stock did. Look, it opened here and then it went higher, or it opened here and went down and then went up. But the point is, we were able to take out the low and we went high. And I showed you this morning a few examples. And I showed you Amazon. And remember, Amazon just had a gap. It didn't move up here. And then I showed you another one, and that was Meta. And I told you I like Amazon more than Meta because it's closer to this base. So I still like Amazon more. But my point in showing you this stock in this PDD is I like how it bounced at the bottom, how it gapped up. It tried to fill the gap. It held the 200-day moving average, and then it exploded, and it's been above the VWAP all day. So I will definitely set an alert, and this is definitely one of my favorite stocks. Wrong. One of my favorite stocks today. All right. T-Bus, talk to me. T-Bus.
Well, Roger, you know that I come from a commodity background, futures, right?
Same here.
Yeah,
but we both
right.
turn towards.
Yeah. I used to have a brokerage firm.
Yeah. Yes.
And I started DTI. Originally was known as the Day Trading Institute until I made the transition over into diversified trading, which is stocks, options, everything else. But my heart's always been with futures, and I was fortunate enough, in the early 90s, out of 50 people in the entire country, I had a Globex terminal, which was a forerunner to all this electronic trading, and that got me onto the 24-hour market where I designed times and all that. But futures has always been a first love. I've been trading futures. I used to trade it a lot more than I do now. I think that I strategically trade it now. I would oppose to the way I used to. I used to trade 200 or 300 times a day on futures. Okay. And that's the nice thing about futures. There's no such thing as a pattern day trade rule, which is a stupid rule. Every time I have to say that word, I always say it's a stupid rule.
It is.
And I'm trying to try to get it overturned right now. I'll tell you about it later, but I'm trying to work.
That's interesting.
The political thing to get it. But
what a stupid rule,
right? It's a stupid rule. I was talking to Tom Sosnoff, and me and him agree 100% of this. It hurts retail traders because let's say you make two trades and then you can't get out of one because they're going to freeze your account. You take a big hit.
It wasn't like that when I was starting out. No. You could day trade all you want with $5,000.
Yeah, it didn't matter, because they put it right where the risk should be on you, right? And but anyway, that's just another side subject. But anyway, 2 years ago, I'm teaching a class here in Ponte Vedra, and a doctor came up to me on the break, and he said, Tom, he said, would you, would you teach me futures? I said, I retired.
Yeah.
He said, what do you mean you retired? Well, I'm exchange member. I'm no longer exchange member. I no longer have a brokerage firm. I really have moved on from, teaching and trading futures. He told me, he said, look, I'll make it worth your while. I said, you can't make it worth my while. I said, but what you could do, if you get 10 people at this class that want to sign up, I'll teach a class and see how I like it. Didn't have any curriculum anymore, didn't have anything. And of course, he recruited 9 other people, and I had my first, what I call class of futures. And I had so much fun doing it. I said to myself, maybe I'll do some more. So I built a curriculum over the last 2 years to teach people the right way to trade futures. And I cover all subjects, all markets and futures. But I keep people focused. And I said, well, how am I going to do this? I don't have time to do this anymore, right? So I picked Monday night at 7:00, and we meet on Monday night. And I have an educational series on Monday night that I talk about futures first. And then after about 9, we have a Telegram channel that we go to. And I try to find out of all those markets where the probabilities are the greatest. We do an application approach and find something to, put money into. People are raving about it. And I've grown it from 10 people. I've got, I think, 175 people in there right now.
Oh, that's great.
And I've done it just by word of mouth. I mean, this is, I've done a few things with my own people, but this is the first time I've stepped outside. Sure. And I appreciate you inviting me here, because I really believe if you learn futures, you will have an edge over anybody else that's trading, because the futures always move first. For example, let me relate it to you. E-mini relates to the SPY. The NASDAQ futures relates to the QQQ. The Dow futures relate to the Diamond. Crude relates to USO XLE.
And Russell 2000.
Yeah. Gold, you can do IWM to Russell. Gold relates to GC. Silver relates to SLV, and bonds, ZB, I still do the 30-year, relates to TLT. It's a 20-year, but it gives you an overview, and I call it the magic 7 I look at to figure out where I'm going to go. But I have the time, I have the things to do it, and so I started adding people to it. Now I've got it streamlined, I got the course built, I've got a great way to introduce people to futures and teach them the right way to futures, okay? Mm-hmm. We made a trade this morning after that news announcement, 10 after 8. We had a signal that said go long. We went long. And I don't have to tell you how good they did. Just look at the market. 10 after 8. Most people not even looking at futures, but this morning we did it after the announcement.
When I do my morning show, about 80% of what we look at is futures, because it's pre-market open. That's what I always use. Futures. So, and then I have this program called Trading Zone, we trade E-minis, and people are loving it. Yeah. So I figured this would be great for a lot of people because a lot of my folks are starting to really see
the power of futures.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, this may be a good idea if you guys want to learn more about futures. That's really how this all came about, folks. I get a lot of emails now because people are really liking the Trading Zone, even though we haven't launched it yet. We have 550 people in there. Yeah. And we are going to be launching it next month. And people love E-minis. They're like, why haven't I been doing this? Why am I doing these options that have a decay where I could just sit on an E-mini, $400 a day intraday margin and enjoy myself, right? Or
absolutely.
So it's a no-brainer. But people are sending me, how do I learn? I'm like, I just don't have time. I'm very busy.
Let me tell you, 2 years.
Yeah.
I had to build this course from scratch again. Now, of course, I knew where I was headed when I started, once I made the decision to do it. And we started out, I had it priced at $1,000 a quarter, and everybody gladly paid the very first group. And then about a year ago, I cut the price way down because I got the whole course built now. So it's a lot more affordable for people. Mm-hmm. But I have a plan. And if you want to learn futures, and Roger, I didn't know you were trading E-mini, but if you are, that's good. But I think people will find out with my approach, you're getting things you can't get anywhere else because there's only 50 of us that had this Globex terminal back in the day, and I learned the times around the clock. So it's really applicable to anybody in the world if they want to look at these times, when to enter and when to exit. So let's get into it and go to the slides, answer some questions maybe.
Yeah. All right. Go for it.
Notice I got futures first. It's always been futures first. I trade stocks based on what the S&P is doing. There's a high degree of risk involved in trading. You can't get rid of that. And past performance is not indicative of future results. Now, I built my career trading futures. It's my bread and butter. Traders know it. Been with me a long time. Know I love futures. Now, eventually, I had a lot of hats to wear. I closed a brokerage firm, stepped away from futures. I considered myself retired.
Nothing to do with CFTC, of course.
Nothing to do.
Nothing to do with CFTC.
Nothing to do with the NFA.
They've heard. They know it all. They've heard it all.
Yeah.
They know. They know.
It's changed. It really changed over the years.
Yeah.
Then about 2 years ago, a doctor, like I told you, came to me one of my seminars and said, "Tom, teach me about futures."
I got to share this. Hold on. I just realized I'm not sharing the screen with them, so
Okay.
I got to share.
Yeah, sure.
the
We got
screen.
time to do it.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Like I said, he convinced me to do that, and I said, "Okay, let's get 10 people." I started with 10. Got like I said, 175 people in there, and it's growing because people know this is great if they want to learn futures. He said he'd heard stories of me helping a lot of people over the years, and they've done very well in the futures market. Well, you got to learn. You got to lose a lot to learn a lot. So that's what happened. You avoid that. I can show you the right way. So I've realized I was probably best qualified to teach this. It's time consuming, but I do it. And I stepped out, opened up the first futures class 2 years ago that I'd done. And for the past 12 to 18 months, I've been teaching futures and future options. Now you got options where when I first came up, we didn't have options. You got options in futures. So I got a whole bunch of curriculum on how to do options with futures. That's where you can leverage futures.
I've never directionally traded options on futures in my life. Only income.
Yeah, I got you.
Income.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, here's a list of the classes we started, and the nice thing about it, it's a growing curriculum because every Monday night I will do something or review something I've done in the past, depending on what y'all want. But how to trade the first hour of the cash market. There's certain techniques to how to trade it with futures. Education on the E-mini, the micro futures. This micro is a big hit.
Yeah, that's what we've been trading. It's been fantastic.
Then using futures options. I like doing a weekly trade here on futures options with the E-mini on Monday night, going out for that week once I have the direction for the week. Oh, gold. Tell me about gold. People know I've been pretty I can dance pretty well in the gold market, and we traded gold for the last I guess year and a half, just really killing it. Now we're on the sidelines waiting for it to settle down. I showed people how to trade gold options without having to post money at the end of the day. They love that. Credit put spreads, crude futures. I trade crude. Bonds, I told you, I believe bond interest rates are going to fall this year, and I think it's going to be a big opportunity, but the long bond's got to get above 115 before it's in play.
Yep.
I came back, found some neat things to teach people about the micro crude trade. Oh, natural gas futures. There's a long story there about natural gas, gold and silver, E-mini, micro again. I'm always adding different techniques as I expand the horizon on that.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding how to understand what I post in my Telegram channel because I type buy MES.
Right.
Well, I explain.
Right.
This is what it means.
Right.
This is what
right,
it. And here's the beautiful thing about it. I use Tasty Trade for introductory futures because Tasty Trade has what's called a bracket order. And no matter what market you're trading, you can use Tasty Trade. And somebody's just getting started. We didn't have this years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They can go into Tasty Trade and really set up the trade where their stop, where their target is. A great core curriculum that I'm expanding, but I'm getting started. Last night, I talked about the euro currency. Let's talk about that real quick. Euro currency is in a decline as long as we're having this trade thing. And if you go take a look at it, it's going lower. And so there was an opportunity there. I said, I need to teach you about euro currencies. MTI by DTI. I use that tool to tell me when to be long and when to be short. You can see right there on the euro why you want to be short.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And here's what's so important for everyone to remember today. I call it futures first because, in my opinion, understanding the futures is your gateway to the rest of the stock market. All you have to do is look at what we've done market timing wise, and they'll tell you I'm great at timing the markets because I'm watching S&P futures. Futures First classes are ongoing. I'm continually expanding our library of futures education every Monday night. And the format is we get started about 7 o'clock on Monday night. People can have supper, come sat there, learned something new. And then if I see a trade, I post it after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on Monday night. Here's what they're saying, Roger. And I had so many of these, we just picked a few. People appreciate what I've taught them in a short period of time. Bob Egger says, thanks again for the program. I already made money. I'm big on people getting scholarships that work with me. I call it making money off the uneducated. James McCade, I showed him how to set 3 targets on a futures position. We had 3 positions on, how to take it. He said he may get the hang of that. And this was a good one. Michael Springer made $416 trading the Micro E Mini. Claire, this was a new student. She had her eyes open how she could transfer some of her knowledge over on the security side to futures.
Yes, Michael, you could trade after hours futures.
Yeah.
23 hours a day.
Yeah, it's up. Now, I've got 3 levels of membership that I've opened up. You go to dtitrader.com/futures or call 904-706-3532. Now, once you join, check your email for a link to the channel. You got to get in the channel. That's where I post a lot of information. The trade this morning, for example. dtitrader.com/futures or call 904-706-3532. Now, also offer, Roger, in-person classes.
Yeah,
you can see July 14th, 15th sold out. I only take 8 people in those. Next class, August 4th and 5th. October 6th.
Are you going to do it in our subdivision?
Yeah, I'll do it where we live.
Richard, he's going to do it. We live in the same subdivision, and it's a really nice place, and there's a huge auditory area there for teaching, and right across my house. Beautiful place better than any hotel around here. Very good for small classes. So.
They asked me to add some extra classes. So I got one October 13th and 14th, one December 1st and 2nd. There's only 8 spots there. In this bigger crowd, they'll probably be gone. Go to dtitrader.com/futures or call 904-706-3532. Now, I know some folks that hear futures think I can't do that. Again, I have a great relationship with Tasty Trade. You might think it's too advanced, too expensive, too complicated. Let me put your mind at ease. Access won't be an issue. I have a special relationship with the Tasty Trade people. They know if you put DTI there, they give you a permission trade, whether you're new or old. I love their platform because I've worked with them for years. They understand we're educating, and there's no problem approving our students to learn how. But if you'd rather work with your own platform, I'm fine with that. Getting access shouldn't be a problem there either. Money won't be an issue. I tell people put $2,000 in their futures account. I'll show you how to grow it. Futures any more expensive than trading in the traditional market. In fact, it's probably less expensive when you look at it. $2,000 to get started in your account. You never have to risk the whole account. Experience won't be an issue. I'll provide all the experience. I got enough stories to help you there. And if you're new to this, it's great. You can learn the right way. The whole point of Futures First is give folks a foundation in futures trading can last you a lifetime. And we're going to build that foundation brick by brick, class by class. Don't let fear be the only thing that stops you from unlocking this chance to learn futures the right way. Join it today. And here's the nice thing about futures. There's no pattern day trader rule. Trade as many times as you want during the day. And here's the beautiful thing once you start making money. 60-40, 6% is considered long-term, 40% is short-term, no matter if you hold it for a minute. Go to dtitrader.com/futures, call 904-706-3532.
Perfect.
That's pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
If anybody got any questions or anything,
Yeah. Any questions? I'm good with that. I have been loving futures. More I learn, the better.
The class lasts about 30 minutes to an hour on Monday night, and I record everything so you can review it. And there's 3 levels of membership. I have a short-term membership, a little bit longer term, and an annual membership. Okay.
Liquidity depends on the futures contract. It's just like stocks, Wild Ranger. It just depends on the contract. Most of them are very liquid.
Yeah, if you got $100 million, you won't have any time trade or any problem trading E-minis. Does that tell you how much liquidity?
Yeah, they're very liquid
around the clock.
Yeah. Richard, yeah, I remember Richard. I hooked you up with AM Futures. They would just follow your entry. Yeah, you could do it, no problem.
Yeah, let me just speak to the online class or the in-person classes. That's face to face. There's about 8 of us. The first time you come, you can take more, but the first time you pay 5,000, and I exempt you from paying the online fee if you come to one of the uh, in-person classes. I would strongly argue take that. That's a chance to trade in person with me, and it's pretty fun.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, T-Buzz, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
This was a great class.
Yeah.
See, you're doing me a favor because I mean, I get so many questions about futures and I just don't have the time.
Here,
So
tell them to go here and learn.
that's what I'll do.
Thanks, Roger.
Thank you for
Hey,
being here.
I like the shirt.
Thank you.
Bright
Folks,
shirt.
no monkey business.
No monkey. Thanks,
right.
folks. If you got any questions, send us an email and ask.
And if they have anything, I'll pass it on to you.
Sounds great, Roger.
Thanks, T-Buzz.
See you.
Okay, take care. Tell Paul I said hi.
I will.
All right, hold on, guys. Let me switch my mic. All right, you guys should be able to hear me here. Hopefully that was good. Again, this was not something we planned or anything like this. This was just something I wanted to do simply because we have so many people interested in futures that I thought this may be a worthwhile thing for you to do. Go to dtitrader.com/futures or call 904-706-3532. All right, let's talk a little bit about the market and I'll let you guys go. And Matt, I have a class at 1:30. No, wait a minute. Is it 1:30? Yeah, 1:30. I have an A-line class at 1:30. I haven't done this class in a very long time. And A-line is one of my favorite strategies. I really hope you guys can make it. And Matt, would you post the link to that class?
Got it right here.
Do you guys have any questions for me? Any questions for me? We're one of the partners in Trading Pub is T-Buzz's son. So it's like a weird relationship, but we're all in the same boat pretty much.
Folks, ignore that link. That's the wrong one. That's tomorrow's.
Let's go to oh, there we go. There's the one for today. All right, that's the one. Today, I'll be there in about 35 minutes or so. Any questions for me before I let you guys go? Use this opportunity. You guys got 8 minutes. Anything you guys want to ask me? You guys want me to look at a stock? Monster? Let's take a look at Monster. It's coming down today for the obvious reason that spec stocks are doing this. They're unloading those stocks. But the problem is I'm not convinced that this rally is going to have much legs, and either is this. We would need to break below the 15-day and somewhere and trade and accept the area of value around here for me to turn negative on Monster. I'm still really bullish on this stock. And you could see, I mean, look, it's very choppy. It's not a day trading stock. Okay. Where do I think SPX is headed today? Nowhere. I don't think it's headed. I think we're just going to come around here. Look at the size of the bars. We don't have much price discovery here. I think this was the big move right here. If anything, I think maybe we'd come to the VWAP. I'm just not seeing anything really that amazing today. And volume, how's volume right now, Matt?
Volume is at 53%.
Yeah,
So
volume is
we
not.
were at 40 something.
It's coming
this
down.
morning.
Right.
And we really just stalled
Volume's
out.
coming off. I like NVIDIA. What I don't like is SMH. But pretty good trend line. I'll be honest with you. If you're going to go long here, hold on. You got till about 257 here. It doesn't look bad. I like NVIDIA. But maybe very short term. Maybe from here till about 135. That's about it. Okay. Red, white, and blue, they're right here. This is the 50, this is the 100, this is the 200. Roger called this day, and since this morning, it's following his analysis. Yeah, it's not really doing all that much. The problem, here's my problem. My problem is that we're not coming down here, and I want to see what happens when we test this area. See, I don't believe we're going to just move higher from here. I think we're going to consolidate around here. I think we're going to consolidate. This is a big move. We're going to have to consolidate this move for at least a few more days. So I think even if we're moving higher, it's going to happen slowly, and we're going to have some bumps in the foundation. Okay. AVGO. I like AVGO. The problem with AVGO is you are at a resistance level right here. Folks, please always look at your charts. Got a major resistance directly above us right here. Yeah, I'm going to cover the A line today at 1:30. Pro Trader dashboard, we got several upgrades to it, Bill. It's got upgraded several times. Toast, let's look at it, Boyd. A little overextended. This is too much, too fast. Need maybe a pullback around here, this level, maybe even lower. Look how deviated we are from the 8-day EMA. TSM looks great, but the problem here is the correlation between this and NVIDIA is about 90%. Here. I'm not going to do a correlation study now, but it's about 90%. How much upward firepower? Yesterday, I agree with the Roger. Needs to digest. Yeah, it needs to digest. We need to digest this upside. HWM. I like HWM. It's actually is digesting this move. The only thing maybe wait for it to get to the VWAP, but it doesn't look bad. It looks great. Nothing wrong there. Kelly says, Roger, thanks. You give us so much every time I can catch you. Thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate that. Volume is softening. And this price action isn't very sexy either. Just not much of anything here. You know, Matt, if you waited just like 2-3 bars, we wouldn't have had to take a loss on that trade. I mean, when we entered it.
Yeah.
You weren't off by that much.
Nope.
You weren't off by that much at all.
That extra bar killed us.
Yeah, that one extra bar. Yeah. I don't like small caps at all. And I even said this morning, they never broke above the 100-day. They're not which means interest rates. There's no huge run up to interest rates, which means there's no soft interest to retail either. Let me see XRT. See that? Look at retail. Look what happened when it hit the 200-day line. This is, folks, why I tell you to put the 200-day line on your charts. Look at how it's resisting it. Right there. Look, I'm going to point my mouse here, but you look here. Look at this. Look at that. Look where the crosshair is. Right at the 200-day. Right there. Right there. Look. See it right there. This is why I use that. If you can't see why I use these lines based on just a simple example, look at that. Literally right there. Anyway. All right. What's today? Today is Wednesday or Tuesday? I'm totally mixed up. Today's Tuesday. We don't have major, let's see what Fed data we have. We don't have PPI till later in the week. Should have been tomorrow, but we do have Fed speakers. I think we're going to have a little consolidation or a down day. I really do. I'm not seeing the upside. Also, Bold is looking good, but ADD is not. You don't have broad market right now gaining. And you don't have anything really upticking or downticking. Look at this. 500, 500. VIX isn't really doing anything. I'm just not really seeing a big move. You really do give us advice worth thousands of dollars, and more importantly, save us from wasting thousands of the wrong time and entry. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. Testimonial. Let's put that in there. Uber. I like Uber. I took a profit on Uber today, Terry. We had Uber in weekly cash flow. I took a gain on it, and I wrote a note for you guys saying that here. That Uber here. I wrote a little thing saying that I still like it for long, even though we liquidated the position, but I wanted to bounce back to the VWAP. And I have a bunch of alerts right now. Set there. Let's see. Where's my alert? See, you could see all of my alerts right here. And you could see these are all inactive right here. Most of these are inactive. I'll delete them. But you could see that here's all my alerts. Here's everything I'm looking at. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. On your market indicator, you always stay on 5-minute settings or switch to 1 minute. No, I like 5 minutes, but there's nothing wrong with using 1 minute, especially if you're day trading, to have them coincide. Matt likes to use them a lot. Nothing wrong with that. It's just a little too noisy, but nothing wrong with it. If you want to use it, I wouldn't trade off of them. I would just use them as a confirmation. Thanks, guys, for being here. I appreciate you. And Matt, post that link one more time. I'll be talking about the A-line in about 29 minutes. Thank you, guys. Bye, everybody. Have a great day. And please don't be upset at me. I'm literally just trying to help you see the light. That's all I'm trying to do. I really am. Don't resist. Bye, guys. Have a good day.
The link.